going on, everybody? Harrison Graham here, back with another episode of Four Verts, where we talk football all day, every day. And Senior Bowl week is wrapped up. The game itself is tomorrow, but scouts, these teams, they value the practices, the drills, how players perform, how they respond to bad reps, interviews, all that stuff. The game counts a little, but not nearly as much. So what we're going to do on today's show, take a look at 5 risers and 3 fallers in the NFL draft from Senior Bowl week. So stay tuned for that. But first, we are trying to get to our next milestone here on Four Verts. The way it works is simple. The more subscribers we get, the more content we can pump out for you. We launched right before football season. Would love to get to 10,000 subs by the end of the NFL draft. Long way to go. Next milestone is 7,636 away. If you want free NFL content every single day, including full lead up next week to Super Bowl 59, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay, Senior Bowl risers. Let's start with Mike Green, the edge rusher out of Marshall. If you didn't know him before the Senior Bowl, you do now, because he was so dominant through 2 days of practices. He went home. So did Shamar Stewart, by the way, out of Texas A&M. I didn't mention him in our risers, but he had a great week as well. This was him plummeting Josh Connerly, a projected first-round offensive tackle out of Oregon. I'm sure you guys have seen the video go viral on social media. If not, go check it out. He had a great week, and now you're seeing when these guys kind of submit themselves, he's going to be a first-round pick. They're just advised to go home. So great couple of days for him. Didn't even practice on the third day. He's probably going to be a top 15, top 20 pick. How about Jaxson Dart, taking a look at a quarterback who had a really good week? He's getting a lot of buzz right now, guys. Todd McShay said that some NFL scouts has him as their QB2. You've seen other draft pundits say he's closer to Shedeur Sanders than people would think. I think one thing is for sure clear. There's a clear top 3, regardless of what the order is in terms of the draft prospects. That is Cam Ward out of Miami, Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado, and Jaxson Dart out of Ole Miss. This is how I would rank it. I think Ward has the best physical tools, so I would have him as the top guy. He's played a lot of ball as well. Shedeur Sanders, accurate, tough kid, average arm, average athlete. Jaxson Dart, pretty good athlete, pretty good arm, little more erratic. He's kind of like a poor man's Cameron Ward in the sense that he's got pretty good tools, not quite as good at tools. He can be a little erratic at times, but more erratic than Cam Ward. That's kind of how I see it with these 3 players right now. Shedeur's kind of the higher floor guy. Ward and Dart probably have higher ceilings given their arm strength and athletic profiles, but I like Cam Ward the best, so that's how I would personally rank them, at least right now. Who do you guys have as QB1? If it's Cam Ward, type CW. If it's Shedeur Sanders, type SS. If you think it's Jaxson Dart, type JD. That's how I order it, but let us know who you think the top QB prospect is. How about Darius Alexander, the Toledo Rocket, just balling out at the Senior Bowl today? Just the full display, power, quickness, a variety of moves in his pass rush arsenal already, which is pretty rare to begin with for a young pass rusher, especially an interior guy, especially out of a school like Toledo. Really, really impressive. You're seeing more and more each year that these diamonds in the rough out of these small schools are putting themselves on the big stage. How about Toledo? Quinyon Mitchell last year, Darius Alexander this year. I don't think he'll go round 1, but I think he's going to be a day 2 guy. Really good defensive tackle class, and he's right there in the mix. Jack Bech out of my alma mater, TCU. It was an emotional week for him. His brother passed away in that tragic New Orleans event on New Year's Eve, and decided to go participate in the Senior Bowl anyway, and just had a great week. He was great all 3 days, made contested catches, touchdowns every single day. He consistently won in team drills and one-on-ones. Good route runner, very strong hands. He does not drop the football. I'll be curious to see what he runs at the NFL Combine. If he's in the sub-4.6s, I think he's a day 2 guy. If he's a little slower, we'll see. Not the greatest athlete, but he's got good size. He's about 6'1", 6'2", 220 pounds. He could play big slot. TCU moved him to the outside this year, and he had a huge season for the Horned Frogs. So versatility, strong hands, reliable player. Excited to see where he ends up going. And then Zabel. I think he is the most fascinating offensive lineman in this draft. You always get wary of small school players, especially in the trenches, because it's just not the same going up in the FCS compared to the SEC, the Big Ten, or even the Big 12 or ACC. But this guy didn't just hold his own. He kind of dominated. And the cool thing about him is he can play tackle, guard, and center. Now, his arm length is a little below the threshold that teams typically look for. It's 32 inches and change. Typically, if you're below 33 inches for most teams, they're going to kick you inside. Now, there are outliers. Caleb McGarry had small arms. He's been a good tackle in the NFL. Rashawn Slater's been an excellent tackle in the NFL. He has shorter arms, but sounds like he's probably going to play guard or center. If he's willing to play center, I think that makes him even more intriguing because there's not really good centers in this draft. So if he tells teams, hey, I'm willing to play center, he could sneak even late day one. I think he'll go day two, but he's rock solid, man. He's really physical and did more than hold his own. He kind of dominated. Who do you guys think was the biggest winner from the Senior Bowl this year? For those of you who tracked it at home, drop a name in the comment section down below and let us know whose stock went up the most. All right, Senior Bowl fallers, Jalen Milroe. Now, I do want to say the Alabama quarterback, his play style is just not going to stand out in a kind of, I know they did some team drills, 11-on-11s, but I'll just call it a T-shirt and shorts environment. I know they're wearing pads, all that, but they're not hitting, especially the quarterbacks. He's just not going to stand out in a clinic like this. Why? Because he has accuracy issues, doesn't throw with a ton of anticipation, and he doesn't get to show off his athletic profile, his ability to run, extend plays, all that stuff. That being said, when you're throwing routes on air and you're skipping balls to receivers, that's not good. I thought he got better as the week went on, but to me, if I'm drafting, I'm not taking him till day 3. Here's the thing. He's a project with a limited ceiling, in my opinion, and that's a rough combination. Like Anthony Richardson, it's like huge project. He's also 6'5", 240. Jalen Milroe is 6'1", 220 with small hands. So, like, how high is that ceiling even if he hits it? Like, I think at best he's a poor man's Jalen Hurts, and that's like if a lot goes right. I don't know. To me, he's 4th, 5th round. You hope he can turn into a backup and you could create a package for him. Okay, Emery Jones, the tackle out of LSU. I'm just listing him as a lineman because I don't know what happened to this guy. Coming into this year, he was viewed as a potential first-round pick at tackle because he had a great 2023 season, and then he was just terrible. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Him and Will Campbell, people were like, they could both go top 10. Campbell was good again this year, although I do think he was better in 2023 as well. Emery Jones, I don't think he's athletic enough to play tackle. He's slow. Speed rushers get by him easily. I didn't think his anchor was even amazing. That's probably the best part of his game. I think you got to kick him inside. And even then, I think he's a backup, at least to start his career. I don't know how you hit the reset button with this kid, but he just fell off a cliff this year. Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback, kind of like Milroe. He's just not if you're just sitting in the yard and watching quarterbacks throw, these two guys, it's just not going to stand out. Like, they don't rip the ball. They don't throw a great spiral. They don't throw with great anticipation and accuracy. I don't know if Leonard's an NFL quarterback. I mean, I don't even know what to comp him to because he's a decent athlete, but like Milroe's a plus athlete. I mean, is he like a slower Josh Allen as a runner, but nowhere near the arm ability? I don't know. I mean, to me, he's like a late day 3 developmental guy that you probably take in the 6th or 7th round because he's going to be great for your room. Coaches speak very highly of him. He's a high character guy. I think he's a 3rd-string quarterback on a team next year. I don't think he's even a backup. So I think you hope you can bring him in, develop him into being a backup. Like, I don't think there's a world where he's a starting quarterback in the NFL in his future. All right, there you have it. That is going to do it for our Senior Bowl risers and fallers. Check out the game tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully no major injuries. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll have another episode up on the channel this weekend as well, so stay tuned for that.